What's up, y'all? It's T-Turn. Today we're looking at more Paradox Pokemon you didn't know you wanted, and we're gonna start with the legendary. Now, of course, this is a heavy one. As you know, there have been some Mewtwo events going on recently in Scarlet and Violet. A 7-star raid, along with a Mew that when you use against the Mewtwo, it gets super strong. One thing we know about Paradox Pokemon is that their original forms are also in the game. So one idea going around is, what if Mewtwo gets Paradox attention in the DLC? So let me just show you, there's counterparts. This one is called Chaotic Mane, and this is the silhouette. It's kind of hard to tell where Mewtwo is down there, but this is what it looks like. Oh my goodness, I really love this. So it's listed as a fighting dark type, contrary to Mega Mewtwo X, which of course it's reminiscent of. Now I see the paradox here. Mewtwo didn't exist until like 10 years ago. How could there be a paradox form? This plays into what Paradox Pokemon are. We still don't know. There are some Terra additions. I don't know if this is like crystallized psychic energy or some Terra phenomenon, but somehow they've made that design on Mewtwo X look so natural, like you would see it in the wild. It's even got the eyeliner like the ancient Pokemon. Just freaking envision, man, somewhere in Area Zero, a hidden secret boss of Mewtwo in each game, and this is the one you see in Scarlet. And then of course, if you're playing Pokemon Violet, this silhouette, you can already see what's going on. It's gonna be a Mewtwo Y from the future, and this is what it looks like. It's a bunch of disconnected parts with psychic energy flowing in it. The jet boosters, these designs are actually realistic to how Pokemon has made the future and past designs. If Mewtwo were to get something, these are solid takes on it. And yeah, this one is a psychic fairy type. Iron Clone was created by an ancient civilization. I'm sure. Wait, by an ancient one? You know, this is an idea going around, right? What if the past Pokemon are actually from the future, biologically enhanced, and the future Pokemon are from an ancient civilization from the past that tried the whole mechanic crap? You never know. It would be funny if Sada accidentally went to the future, not knowing that's where the Pokemon came from, and then Tor is actually back in the past. So to summarize its dex entry, there are criminal organizations making mechanical Pokemon, and Iron Clone is a rebel that wiped out the criminal organizations. Contrary, kind of, or exactly spot on to what Mewtwo does. Now you got me curious about the other one. Chaotic Mane ability photosynthesis. I love it. It's so fun to see them fit into the shoes. This creature exists before life began on this world. They're both intentionally written like this. So that means this sucker was sent back like 4 billion years into the past. Yo, it could be like a paradox. You know when they say Mew's the ancestor of all Pokemon? What if it's because we send Chaotic Mane to the past and it devolves into the Mews that are the ancestors? Life on Earth was started by future life on Earth. Then how did it start in the first place? Chaotic Mane obtained its powers from the crystals in its body. Over the centuries, these have been crackling and diminishing its power. Apparently, we will never discover the true nature of this creature. Chaotic Mane is methodical and calculating, identifying its opponent's weaknesses and exploiting them to torture its opponents, slowly finishing them off. Wait, this is exactly what it sounds like. So its power slowly dissolves away, leaving behind probably what ends up being Mew, the origin to life. It's a time loop. That's a cool take. Okay, now I want to go away from this a bit and talk about these freaking Paradox future Pokemon. People in Scarlet are having fun with actual different looking designs, while the Violet mans have these same Pokemon just with metal plates. Clearly the budget was like 80% Scarlet, 20% Violet. This is a take that fixes that. And I'm so jealous that this doesn't actually happen. So this is a take of Paradox Cobalion, where yeah, it looks the same, but there's a take on these that makes sense the scientists would have done if they're enhanced versions of the Swords of Justice, where it has a form it takes in battle, where it freaking stands up. Iron Justice has a mechanism that allows it to change its form once it enters into battle. Why wouldn't you expect these 3 Pokemon to be mini Transformers to counterpart the dinosaur beasts? It gives them both something, a taste of the past and a taste of the future. This leaves so much to be wanted. See, if all 3 of them had forms like this, it would have been cool. Maybe not all of them had to stand up. Maybe only Cobalion stands up, but the other 2 get something when they enter battle that makes them look cool. And so for Iron Terrakion, he's just a metal-plated version, but when he enters battle, for example, he looks like this. You know, his arms fold back and he's floating in battle. But in the overworld, he's running around like a dog. You know, battle forms. This makes so much sense. Missed opportunities, man. Designs like this would have actually made me interested in the future ones. Like, just to indulge you, right? Let me take you into how cool the past designs are. Here is a Paradox Virizion, but in the past, called Foliage Fury, and look what it looks like. You have so much freaking fun in the past. It is listed as a grass dragon type. It's an elegant dinosaur take on it. And guess what? This is realistic. This is the kind of stuff you get in Scarlet. Foliage Fury, despite sounding violent and dangerous, the truth is it's very peaceful. Its tail secretes a viscous liquid known as aloe vera, which has healing qualities. Okay, I want to show you an over-the-top one now, right? Imagine this as a secret Paradox Pokemon you find sleeping somewhere in Area 0. Or, you know, locked away in Blueberry Academy. It's one of those standing legendary-like encounters. So remember Charcadet, we have the 2 armors of it. And a fun idea we were talking about is if there was a perfect third one, like Dusk Lycanroc. Well, this is a take where that perfect third one is a complete over-the-top Paradox form from the future. So let's just use Blueberry Academy for example. Let's say after you beat the second DLC, when you go back to Blueberry Academy, there's a new area that opens up to the basement where this is locked in a cell. And it is a paradox of the Charcadet evolutions called Iron Armor. And this is what it looks like. This is far from the likelihood of what Game Freak would do, but the idea of a secret paradox in both games, like locked away somewhere in Blueberry Academy, I've always liked. So I want something like this to fill that role. And last but not least, to bring us full circle from Mewtwo at the start of this, and a Pokemon I've always wanted getting a paradox, Ditto. So this is a take on a Paradox Ditto that's from the past. We saw one earlier under the same name, Mimic Spike, but this is another take on it where this is what it looks like. And this is based off a beta sprite design for Ditto. Well, not Ditto in specific, but Ditto's evolution. Back in Gen 2, Ditto was supposed to evolve with a metal coat, and it was supposed to become this weird, corrupted, angry form of Ditto. The idea was scrapped, and instead only like Steelix and Scizor lived on, but this was one of them at one point. So it's based off that concept. Imagine if you're wandering Area 0, and occasionally you just see this blob nomming around. Freakishly. Of course, the paradox is there's no way a Ditto could have existed 200 years ago and could be in Area 0. You fill in the blank. But because this is a past one, and Violet to counterpart it is a future Ditto called Iron Replica. This is a solid take. So, oh, I love this. So the past one you imagine just works the same way as Ditto. It transforms into opponents. It's listed as a normal rock type. I think for the sake of completing the beta prophecy, we'll just say it's normal steel. But Iron Replica's way of copying opponents is this. This Pokemon resembles a machine described in a paranormal magazine as a 3D replication and projection machine of the future. So it like analyzes a Pokemon and just projects it. And this one's listed as a normal electric type. Let's say normal psychic. So imagine this, right? Right now, Ditto's the only Pokemon that can transform. Imagine the curveball if we had 2 more Pokemon that could transform now. The past Ditto and the future one. But the difference is, when they transform, it only copies the opponent's first typing. And the second one remains Steel or Psychic. It's just to create variety also in the metagame, but it'd be fun, right? They could be special versions of Paradox Pokemon where instead of getting Photosynthesis and Quark Drive, that they get something where, for past Ditto, if there's the Sun active, it activates the imposter ability. And then for the future one, if the electric train is active, it activates the imposter ability, but their version of it. You don't need the actual conditions to trigger it because a booster energy can do it anyway. So you just give them their booster energy that regenerates every battle anyway, and you've got this constantly copying Ditto, essentially like imposter. This could work just as well for that hidden Blueberry Academy locked Paradox Pokemon. And both of them improperly copying opponents somehow makes our failure of a modern Ditto the actual successful Ditto, the perfect one. Alright, I'm gonna call it quits here. Make sure y'all shank that like button and let me know your Paradox ideas in the comments. Also visit the artist in the description, and I'll see y'all in the next video. I'll do another one of these soon. Take care.